What a first half for the University of Georgia. Chris Hall here with Dogs on Demand. By the way, we're brought to you by the good folks at Southeast Mortgage, the official home loan lender of the Georgia Bulldogs. And Georgia dominating the first half against Oregon 28-3. Now, we want to know your comments, your questions, what you think about the first half of this game. By the way, I'm trying to watch the halftime on my DirecTV app on my phone. And DirecTV has this new thing, this new app thing, and I can't find anything, anything on it. So we'll have to try to figure that thing out so we can see halftime. So I got somebody sneaking in taking a picture. So anyway, Georgia 28, Oregon 3. So what do you think here at halftime? If you want to give us a comment or a question or whatever, you can send us a message. We'll be happy to display it for everyone to see and talk about it. What a great first half for the University of Georgia. My observation is Stetson Bennett is the man. You know, I know the guy. He has yes, absolutely. Karen says, "Go Dogs, go Lad McConkey." What a football player, Lad McConkey. What is it? 2 touchdowns, right? 2 touchdowns in the first half against Oregon. Listen, Stetson Bennett had a great first half. Can we put to rest the thing that the Stetson Bennett shouldn't be the starting quarterback? I mean, where are the naysayers out there in the world now? Stetson Bennett absolutely had a tremendous first half. Facebook user, what an unusual name, says Stetson is looking powerful, good, and absolutely. Calvin Michaels, he's barking. Calvin, I'm with you, man. I would bark too if I could. Let's see. Karen Wilson, yes, not exactly the way I would put it, but I agree. Stetson Bennett, just a tremendous first half. And I got to tell you, Georgia's offense is looking tremendous, but Oregon's defense is not very good. I just, the Pac-12 defenses generally, traditionally, are not, up to standard. Well, like Big Ten standards and standard and the SEC standard. Oregon's defense just not very good. And I was talking to Rusty Manziel. Will we see Vandergriff or back in the second half? If the game gets completely out of hand, it could be that you might see Beck. I would guess it would be Carson Beck. So it's got to get completely out of hand, though. I think if Georgia puts a tax on a couple of scores in the third quarter, you might see Carson Beck coming in. You may see Vandergriff. Who knows? Who knows? Calvin says, I predicted 38-10. Looks like it might be worse. Hey, Calvin, I said 35-7. And so, with the field goal, with Oregon getting the field goal, that pretty well, not that prediction out. But Calvin, you might be on it. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Whatever your comment is, so send it to us. Karen says, Bo Nix should have stayed at Auburn. Yeah, Bo, he's got a lot of talent, but man, that interception he threw deep in Georgia territory, that was not a good. That was a bad interception. 84 has some great moves to avoid first tackles. Yep. Darnell, is that Darnell? I think that's Darnell. So Georgia 28-3. Tremendous first half for Stetson Bennett. The offense, a tremendous first half for Todd Monken. Todd Monken. This is the third year. He's had some of these guys for 3 years now. And Todd Monken, can we say that he's the best offensive coordinator in the country? I mean, what he's done with Stetson Bennett and how in the world he's performing with this offense. Oh, McConkey is 84. That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have my notes in front of me. So Randy Payne says, go Dogs from Tifton, Georgia. I'm with you. Randy, tremendous first half. Yeah, McConkey is 84. And Calvin says, shout out to your son, Matthew. He says, hello. And he shouts back at you. He's working with dogsondemand.com right now on our Instagram page, and he's doing a lot of work during the game on that. I can't figure out my DirecTV. I want to watch the halftime, with the sound down, but I have this DirecTV app, and the old one worked so much better. I could find where I was. I don't want to watch, Housewives of New Jersey. It's football. it's it's football season. I made a technical expert to help me here. So if you have a comment, come in. Barking in Brunswick, Georgia. Yes, sir, Calvin. Indeed. So by the way, we used to be UGA Football News on Facebook and Instagram. We're now Dogs on Demand on Facebook and Instagram. And so we're changing over. We've already changed that name on Instagram. It's in process on Facebook. To go through that kind of thing, you got all kind of stuff you got to jump over. Randy's got a lot of dogs going on. 28-3. Georgia's just really looking good. The offense, people are saying that the offense has to pick it up this year. The defense is not going to be as great as it was last year. If that's the case, the offense looks pretty good. But again, we're playing a Pac-12 defense, just Oregon's defense. Dan Lanning is a defensive guy, defensive coordinator. I think he's probably going to upgrade that defense for Oregon. But in this first game, it's a little rough. By the way, did North Carolina beat who was it? Was it Appalachian State they were playing? And then North Carolina State had a fit with East Carolina. What in the world? Anyway, we don't care about those. Well, we do care, about those games. It's all right. Yes, Georgia scored on that first possession. Absolutely, they did. And by the way, not to kind of focus on the negative, but seriously, that was not unnecessary roughness on the tackle for our defensive back. He tackled the guy. This is not touch football. This is football. Oh man, what a horrible call from the official. Unnecessary roughness? Seriously? Anyway, that's my little rant for that. From Missouri, go Dogs. Don, how you doing? Hope everything is good in the Show Me State. Soon the Ducks will be dogs. I like. You see what he said there, right? I like that. Let's see. They only won by one. Yeah, I think North Carolina only won by one. Against who? Appalachian State, and the Appalachian State scored like 40 points in the fourth quarter. Some kind of. Oh, okay. Don Akers, hey, he's from Missouri as well. Let's see. Facebook user. That's when you want to hide your identity. I bet that's Kirby Smart. I bet Facebook user is Kirby Smart. Kirby, he hadn't had anything to do here at halftime. No. Yeah, I agree. A terrible call. I agree 100%. All right. Michael Phillips. Very good. All right. So if you got a comment, zip it in here. So Georgia dominating the first half. And I guess Georgia gets the ball to start the second half. So what we want to do, well, Calvin, thank you, my man. I've been described as awful at times, but never awesome. Wanda Lewis, I'm with you, Wanda. Go Dogs. Give us your comment. We'll post them up. We'll talk about it. I got something. Oh, here's the thing where North Carolina beat Appalachian State 56-55. Seriously, 56-55. And Appalachian State failed on a 2-point conversion. They could have beat North Carolina. Now, North Carolina State's the ranked team, right? Yeah. North Carolina State is the ranked team. North Carolina, not so hot. But Appalachian, I can see the halftime things. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Don Akers, yeah. Not Kirby, just a Georgia boy living in. I got you. Let's see. It could be me, DJ Shockley. Well, there you go. Isn't he our sideline guy on radio? All right, we're having a lot of fun, and you can have a lot of fun when your Georgia Bulldogs are up 28-3 over the 11th ranked team in the country, Oregon. The Georgia Dome is rocking. I got a good friend of mine. He sent me a text. The place is rocking and rolling, and the boos that came down on that horrible, unnecessary roughness call. It was that really got the crowd fired up. So Georgia gets the ball for first in the second half. So at Texas A&M and Sam Houston State 24-0, and they have a rain delay or a lightning delay, I suppose. Michigan took care of Colorado State today. So Georgia, number 3 ranked team in the country, dominating over. I'm getting a message here. Georgia dominating over Oregon. So you got Oregon. You have Ohio State playing Notre Dame later tonight. Ohio State, Notre Dame. I don't think I've ever pulled for Notre Dame in my life. I don't think I've ever pulled for Notre Dame. Could both of those teams lose? Could that be a scenario? Could we figure out a way for both of those teams to lose? But I suppose if you want a team to win that game, you'd want Notre Dame to beat Ohio State, because then that would assure that Georgia would move up to number 2 if Georgia hangs on to beat Oregon, which looks pretty good. So I don't know. A lot of good football. Zip us whatever you think, your comments about what's happening with Georgia and Oregon at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The stadium is rocking and rolling. First half call, by the way, Sean McDonough and Todd Blackledge. The first half call, pretty good on television. That's a professional group. And I prefer them. They're probably number 1 or number 2 in the broadcasting, as far as television is concerned now. Scott Howard and the crew on radio. That's they're number 1 on radio. So give us your line, your comment, your question, and we'd love to hear from you. Later on tonight now, there's some interesting games later on tonight. Ohio State and Notre Dame. Yeah, okay. They're playing at Ohio State in Columbus. You would, as much as you might want to see a Notre Dame upset, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Ohio State will win that game. Then you have Utah State and Alabama. I think that's on the SEC network. And Utah State, they're not very. I don't think they're Utah's good, but Utah State, I don't think they're very good. So that should be a cupcake win for Alabama in Tuscaloosa. And then you've got Utah in Gainesville in the swamp against the Gators. Billy Napier's first game as the head coach for Florida. And Utah is the favorite. Now, Utah had a great season last season, won the Pac-12, had a great season last season, beat Oregon in the Pac-12 championship game. They have a lot of guys coming back, but they've traveled across the country, and they're going to be playing in that heat and humidity of the swamp in Gainesville. And, the Florida Gator fans are going to be sky high. They're ready for a new era at the University of Florida under Billy Napier. And Utah is a favorite, like a 4-point favorite. I think that's going to be a slobber knocker. I think that's going to be a very, very good game. Texas A&M, the best team that money can buy. Nick Saban told me to say that. I didn't want to say it, but when Nick says say it, I say it. Anyway, North Carolina State and East Carolina. North Carolina State won that. North Carolina State is the number 13 team in the country. They barely beat East Carolina. Barely. And I saw where some dude for what, ESPN or some USA Today or something had North Carolina State making the playoffs. Don't think so. By the way, you like my hat? That's the national championship hat for the University of Georgia. Barry checking in. Hey, Barry, how you doing? Um, Good to have you check in with us. What did that mean? What does that mean? SBV to NYC. Oh, Stetson Bennett the fourth for the Heisman. He's talking in code. I got you. Barry, I'm with you. I mean, seriously, who are these people that keep doubting Stetson Bennett the fourth? That last touchdown to McConkey, when he was doing the scrambling thing and they almost had him and he zipped that ball to a wide open Ladd McConkey. He bought time, threw the ball. I tell you what, just don't doubt. And by the way, some people are dissing Stetson for his haircut. And, yeah, Barry, I figured it out. Some people are dissing Stetson Bennett for his haircut. Personally, I like it because that's the haircut I used to have when I had hair and when I was a kid. Stetson means business. See, when you wear a haircut like that, you mean business. Stetson's right up the road from here in Brunswick. Yeah. What we got? We got. I'm looking on my DirecTV app, which I can't figure out. Okay, there's a lot of things. Oklahoma is playing UTEP. At halftime, it's 28-10. Oklahoma beating UTEP. Okay. Well, good. What are they? UTEP Miners or something like that. So, well, what a great first half. I'm living in the go, but I'm a gloomy Gus sometimes. If we get we get the ball. We get the ball here, right? We get the ball first half. Let's score a touchdown. He's 48 yards away from 300. Wow, did he? I didn't see the first half statistics. Seriously, Stetson showing out. And and they say he's the 10th best quarterback in the SEC. I mean, seriously, the 10th best quarterback in the SEC? No, sir. The duck dinner is smelling good. By the way, somebody gave us some fresh peaches. I had my second quarter during the second quarter. My dear wife, she cut me up some fresh peaches. Whoa, make a puppy pull a freight train. Remember that? That's what's his name used to say. Yeah, make a puppy pull a freight train. Anyway, okay, guys. Well, that's about it for us at halftime here. Thought we'd jump in and just have a good time. Trip Block joining us. We love Trip. What's going on, my man? Go Dogs. And by the way, Trip also is a big LSU fan. And LSU is playing Florida State tomorrow night. So that ought to be an interesting game. Yeah, I was wondering about that. I asked my son about that. I said, where is Arik Gilbert? Why haven't we seen him in the first half? And I don't know. Hope he's not injured or anything. You would think that you would see Arik. Maybe we'll see him in the second half. All right. By the way, Trip, you go, my man. We love Trip, and he's a big LSU fan. And so I saw where the old guy on game day, what was his name? Yeah, coach. The coach says FSU is going to beat LSU, but he went to FSU, right? So I think LSU will take care of business. Trip says LSU is going to win by 14. There you go. Lumber City, Georgia. I know where Lumber City, Georgia is. That's where real Bulldog fans live. Where are you from? I'm from Lumber City. I was born in Vienna, Georgia. Yeah, Vienna. Of course, in Europe, it's Vienna. but I wasn't about to be born in no Vienna, so they renamed it to Vienna after the sausage. Okay, I'm having too much fun. All right, guys, that's going to do it for our halftime get together here. We'll come back after the game, celebrate a Georgia win. Thank you for joining us here at halftime. Go Dogs. We'll see you at the